Chapter 1. The Sword and the Farmer. 209, Obersaya 12. The farmer in the field, the farmer in the field. Look lo, there he is, the farmer in the field. The farmer and his wife, the farmer and his wife. Look lo, there they are, the farmer and his wife. There they are, so unaware, basking in the home they share. So simple, this life they chose. But fate is something no one knows, and so hold on to it, this feeling, for dear life. Only so long you can be just farmer and wife. Meth Prosu. It was a beautiful, lazy sort of day in the southern half of the Arthloyan Empire. A day when you could just lie back and stare up at the clouds without thinking of anything else. Or at least a lot of people had wished they could. Wished they could stop what they were doing and just bask in the breeze. But behind it all, something had been looming, threatening to tear the whole world apart. This calm day, it may be the last in a while, or it might never come again. But that all depends on a simple young man with simple dreams who only wants to live in peace. And so where else would it begin but here? The sun is sinking into the expansive horizon, as both Milena and Astynos are busy tending to their crops. Milena stops for a moment and attempts to discreetly let out a deep yawn. However, in the corner of his eye, Astynos spies her action. He smiles and shakes his head at her. "What?" she asks. "Oh, come on, Millie. You know you can't fool me," he says. "I don't know what you're talking about," she says as she leans in on her rake. "I saw you yawning." "Really? Well, then you must be imagining things," she says, with a little shrug and a sly smile. "Oh, come on. Are you really going to try this on me?" "Try what?" she says. Astynos sighs, shakes his head, and then lets out a little laugh. "What's so funny?" she asks, with a hint of irritation. "You," he says with a smile. "Me? What's so funny about me?" she asks. "Well, for starters, you snore like a hookrat deer," he says with a big grin. "Hey," she exclaims, as her face turns red as the mulgas she's tending to. "Relax, I'm just joking. What I really find funny is the fact that you still think you can fool me. It's plain as day that you're tired, and you can't deny it," he explains. "Oh, really?" she retorts, her rake dropping to the ground. "Yes, really," he fires back. So caught up in each other are they, that they fail to notice the huge flocks of quilties flying overhead. Their black and orange feathers are a strange sight to see, so far out of season, and in a mass akin to exodus, an eastward exodus. The two lock eyes. Their stares are powerful as they each focus in, without sparing one blink. Both are on the brink of surrender, and then suddenly, in one climactic moment, it ends. They both break out into hysterical laughter. After the two have had their fill, they just smile at each other for a good minute. The spark in their eyes as they look at one another is as vibrant and beautiful as the field they're tending to. And like the field, it has been cultivated well and continues to be. But it still has so much potential. It still has much room, as well as time, to grow. Astynos takes a calming breath and then suggests, "Seriously, though, I know you're tired. Why don't you head to bed early? Quit saying stuff like that, will ya? It's all the time with you." She lets out a deep sigh. "I should work just as hard as you do," she says, as she grabs her rake and starts tilling some unused soil a few feet away. Astynos walks over to her and gently places one hand on her cheek, the other on her shoulder. He brushes away some strands of her auburn locks with his thumb. Looking straight into her eyes with his smoky topaz orbs, he says, "I know you want to, dear, but it's not good to keep working if you're too tired. Let me finish up here. After all, you know I'm more used to running on less sleep than you are." Milena turns around and continues working. "I know you are, but I want to help. This is important to you, so it's important to me. We should share the burden together. This is our farm." Astynos nestles his head beside hers, chest pressed against her back, as he says softly, But Millie, you do plenty around here. Milena stops and turns her head towards him. But Astynos, you helped me figure out how to build that lovely little house we live in, didn't you? Without you, I probably would have ended up with pieces of wood nailed to my forehead, he says with a chuckle. Milena chuckles too and adds, yeah, you'd probably have ended up stuck to the house. Hey, he says, smiling. Sorry, I just couldn't help piling on. I mean, you can be a hopeless klutz sometimes. I can't deny that, I suppose. They both gaze into each other's eyes once more and kiss as the wind whistles softly by. Just loud enough to mask the fleeing feet of so many tiny creatures. After this, Milena says, all right, Astynos, you win. This time. Again. Why is it that you always get your way? Like the cake thing. As I recall, you thought that was cute, he says with a smirk. And bringing up old stuff is a bad move for you. Oh? The first time we met? Well, I remember you thinking I was cute regardless. How would you know that? Oh, come on. How could anyone not think someone with this ass wasn't? She says as she sticks it out at him. He makes a show of rubbing his chin and inspecting it. It's all right, I guess, he says with an exaggerated shrug. Fuck you, she says, with a laugh as lovely to Astynos as a lightly rained-on forest. You know you love it. Then she kisses him on the cheek. Anyway, she yawns, I'll head to bed. But the next time I want to do this with you. I swear I will. Fine, he says, as he puts his arm around her and brings her in close. As Milena leaves his embrace, she catches a glimpse of the western horizon. For a brief moment, the sight of it halts her. There's a longing in her eyes, but she shakes it away, saying quietly to herself, no, I don't care about that anymore. I love this. And him. She begins walking, but the horizon catches her gaze again. But maybe one day I can at least go back there. We can go together. Something wrong? Astynos asks. Nothing. It's just, I love the sunset, especially here. Because of you, you know, she answers with a smile that lights up the world before Astynos' eyes. To him, it's the peak of a summer day. Astynos looks fondly at Milena as she makes her way back to the house. He whispers to himself, I am so lucky. Then, when he's confident she's far enough away, he lets out a yawn that he'd been keeping under wraps. Wow, I'm tired. But let's keep that between me and you Yorians, he says, with a wink toward his crops. Astynos works in the field for about an hour more. Now he's really feeling exhausted. It's as if he could keel over at any second. But then something catches his eye. It is something in the sky. It looks like a fast-moving comet, but something is different. Its glow is way too powerful. The light radiating from it is brilliant, almost blinding. Despite its distance, Astynos finds himself overwhelmed by its strength. It seems to invoke odd, incomprehensible feelings within Astynos' being. Then light from it overtakes the sky above, until it blankets all within Astynos' sight. He feels consumed with such powerful emotions. His heart rate rockets to immeasurable heights as he feels a strange sense of power flow through his veins. Then, in an instant, the object and its light vanish over the western horizon. He's left awestruck. He does not move as he tries grasping the occurrence, but he just can't seem to comprehend it at all.